Welcome to the Stress Outlet. My name is Dr. Kimberly Quinn. I'm here in Coyote Meadow by Coyote Rock with Truman. And there's little Giovanni over there. Anyway, so we've been talking about, we're going to wind up with, we're talking about trauma when we get stuck, and we're talking about, and even big stress. We talked about the difference. You can go back and look because they're not the same thing. Although both can change our lives. And when we make these twists and turns, we can often become conditioned to being in survival mode, conditioned where it becomes our normal. And we're just kind of, every day we're like a shortstop, just kind of on the ready, and we can get used to that. Even when things are really pretty okay. We're not saying things are perfect because that isn't life. Life is not perfect. That's why I didn't even allow that word in the house with the kids when they were little. Perfect. I didn't allow the P word. Then they would come on when I said, how was school? 99% excellent. They came up with other things rather than that word, because so we can get so used to that being our normal. It definitely was true for me. And way back when I was in survival mode, I've been in survival mode much of my life, to be truthful. My whole childhood and then college and living out of the car, the whole thing. And you get so used to it that I didn't even know there was a label for it. And I was always a positive vibe. This isn't new. This is kind of how I am. You have to work at it. But I always knew I had some place to stay and that sort of thing, not realizing I was in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you're not survival brain and learning brain are just, two other ends of the spectrum. So it's very difficult for new information, meaning not just what we learn in school or at work or reading a book or whatever, also all the new information that comes in with people in our lives, being able to be fully present and available and take in all that wonderful joy and all that other stuff. Because think of it like a computer, when so much space is taken up with a virus, something clogging it up, there's not as much room, sometimes if any, if you've done to computers what I've done to them. And so it's really important to realize that we realize first of all, if you are in survival mode, again, it's not just when you're in that crisis. It sticks, it stays. So you can be in this wonderful relationship, you can be out in Coyote Meadow, but your brain is still on the ready. And we want to shift out of survival to thrival. Talk to yourself. Realize, say, I'm safe now. You got to say all these things. Definitely professional treatment if you're really stuck, because these videos are not meant to be in place of that. But mostly to really realize that your possibility for change is unlimited. It's unlimited. You're unstoppable. There's nothing you can't do once you set your mind to freeing yourself.